Well, good morning and welcome back to the KFYR Plus News Desk. Well, Ginger, hello. How are you?
Hi, good morning, Jay Dillon. I'm doing well.
Oh, did we lose your microphone there?
No, I'm here.
Okay, there we go. There you go. I thought you cut out for some reason there. It's Rhythm and News with our good friend Ginger G on this lovely Thursday morning. It's cold out there, isn't it?
It is chilly, yes, but I mean, things are looking up this weekend, right? We're going to start
That,
warming up, even though we could get some snow on Saturday.
Yeah, get a little snow, not much. I mean, an inch, maybe two at the most. But yeah, temperatures will climb back into the 30s where, I'm hoping they'll stay that way for the remainder of February.
Yeah, we'll see. But at least we're faring far better than the folks on the East Coast and down south. What a nightmare. And they're about to get pummeled again this weekend.
Yeah, they're going to get hit again, aren't they? I just talked
Uh,
with Monica Hannon. She lives in Virginia, and
mm,
she was telling me on Tuesday that they only got about 6, 7 inches of snow. For us, 6 or 7. I drove my car, and you remember my car a couple winters ago.
yeah,
We had 6 inches of fresh snow on the ground. I drove it to work, and I made it to
right.
work just fine in 6 inches of snow, right? But down there, they just don't have the infrastructure. They don't have the tools. And then on top
No,
of it, they got a bunch of rain. So that crusted up the
I
snow and it
know.
made it very hard to move.
Yeah, I saw videos from Oxford, Mississippi, all those cars sliding off the road. They had 16-degree temps on Monday, 2 inches of ice on their power lines. I mean, people are sitting without power everywhere, and roofs are caving in. I saw in Texas at this rodeo, this huge roof caved in because of the
Hmm.
ice and snow on top of it. I mean, it's madness down there right now.
It really is. Yeah, it's pretty wild. You think of the stuff that, the weather that we get up here every year, and we're just so used to it. And those folks,
Right.
God bless them, they're not used to it. That's just not their weather for them.
No, no. So yeah, I hope things clear up soon. But as we said, they are getting another system. They're calling it like a cyclone bomb, I believe, is
Hmm.
what it's called. That's supposed to hit them Friday through Sunday, and some parts another 12 to 15 inches of snow. I'm like, wow, the Appalachians who just got hit.
Yeah, that's a lot of snow. All right, this week, of course, I've got my news stories to get to, but Ginger, we've also got a very hot topic for a celebrated guitarist who would have had his, I believe, 71st birthday this week.
On Monday. Yep.
Yeah.
Eddie Van Halen would have been 71 on Monday. So, in celebration, we are going to go over our favorite Van Halen songs of all time. Plus, there is a shoe company who has decided to collaborate with one of the masters of metal. And folks talking again about who the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is snubbing. And it's two iconic 80s rock bands that we are going to
Okay.
chat about.
Okay, I'm very interested in that. So let's get right to our news real quick. North Dakota Attorney General is joining a deepfake lawsuit. The Attorney General Drew Wrigley is joining a bipartisan coalition of 35 states calling on Elon Musk's XAI to immediately halt its Grok chatbot from generating fake, explicit images of people. In a letter dated earlier this month to XAI, the group expressed concerns over Grok's production of intimate deep fake images. Now, Ginger, you've heard about this. A lot of celebrities are up in arms, and I don't blame them one bit. I wouldn't want, I don't know why they would want my image of nakedness, but I can understand celebrities
Yeah.
being thrown around the internet. So, completely agree with that, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. But on the other hand, yeah, I understand that too. I agree. But on the other hand, then there's all the other people taking all those sexy photos where it looks like they're lingerie models and sharing them and being like, look at me.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, are they getting paid for it though? If they're lingerie models, I
no,
don't see any. Yeah.
No, they're not
Uh,
laundry. I'm saying normal, everyday people. That's what I'm saying.
yeah. So the Fargo Dome lost a lot of money last year, Ginger. Can you guess how much they lost in 2025?
No. Uh, 500,000.
You're close. $675,000 after a slow concert year.
Wow.
Yeah, the facility leader said as he reported the stadium's first deficit in 5 years. Now, the stadium is home, of course, to the North Dakota State football team. They attracted less than 380,000 event attendees with their 75 events. General Manager Rob Sobolik now told the Fargo Dome authorities on Tuesday that's less than the projected 415,000 they had hoped for. A number of factors contributed to last year's deficit. Fargo had fewer opportunities to get in larger shows, and some events underperformed and expense increased. But there's good news, I believe. The Foo Fighters have been selling a lot of tickets, and of course, you got the Offspring next Friday. So Sobolik says 2026 looks a lot better.
Well, I think you can agree. It was a quiet year there. I didn't promote, I think maybe 2 concerts I remember promoting for Fargo, like 2 big ones.
Okay.
Other than that, but the Alair Center, they're just continuously killing it. They really are.
Are
Do
they?
a nice job bringing, yeah, I think so. They do a nice job bringing shows in.
That's good. That's good. Maybe they're taking away some of, although in this report it did say some of the larger bands were hitting up larger markets like the Minneapolises and other markets, Sioux Falls and stuff like that, Omaha.
Yeah.
That doesn't bode well for future concerts down the road, but it's good to see that the Foo Fighters at least will be in Fargo coming up in September. A couple more news stories here. North Bismarck's Bear Scat is being remodeled. Have you noticed that?
No.
Yeah, everything inside is being redone. Will be resembled. It'll resemble the location in South Bismarck, featuring a Western theme. And the space will be open to provide better seating options, a fixed counter, and a bear trap under the glass in the floor. Bear Scat is also running a promotion where for every degree below 32 degrees, the actual temperature that's the donut discount. The remodel of the North Store will last until the end of next month.
Well, let's be honest. I don't think a whole lot's been done to that location since the donut hole was in there, right?
Yeah, that's quite a while ago. And another Bear Scat themed news story I want to share with you. An Oregon brewery has whipped up a beer made with bear poop.
Why would I want that? God, I don't like beer the way it is. I really wouldn't like it with that.
Breweries can get very creative when it comes to dreaming up ways to make their offering stand out from, of course, a very crowded pack. Portland's Breakside Brewery releasing a limited edition beer infused with bear scat. Now the beer, dubbed Nature Calls, according to a press release. The brewery was provided with some black bear droppings sourced from Montana that were infused into water from the Bull Run River before it processed to make it safe to drink. The water was then used to brew the light lager, which is also containing honey and huckleberry. So get yourself some Bear Scat beer.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not into that. You know, remember that news story we had years ago where we talked about coffee that was from the monkey droppings?
Oh, yep.
And people really, really liked it. Well, I didn't go for that either. I wouldn't drink any type of droppings.
No, not at all.
What's the worst food that you would eat, like from an animal, like tripe or how about chitlins? Would you eat any of that? Head cheese?
No, and I'm going to tell you why I wouldn't eat chitlins, because when I lived in Mississippi, I watched a friend of mine prepare them for Thanksgiving as she pulls intestines out of a big white bucket and slops them into her sink and proceeds to clean feces and grass and whatnot out of it. Smelled so bad I almost threw up. I'm like, what are you doing? it's cheaper if you clean your own chitlins. I'm like, no, thank you, ma'am. Nope, no way.
So I have a hit chitlin story as well. My old where I used to live, I lived in the basement, and upstairs was a good friend of mine named Frank, and Frank was an African American. And the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, that Wednesday, Blackout Wednesday, as you all remember the name of it, I went out Wednesday night and partied all night long. I went home, went to bed around midnight, 1 o'clock, and about 4 a.m. I smelled something like, oh, Frank is cooking up some turkey because I can smell it. It started to smell
Yeah,
pretty
yeah, yeah.
good. About 6 a.m., I thought, Frank, your turkey's starting to turn a little bit. You might be burning it or something. By 8 a.m., I got out of bed. I had to go up there and tell Frank, something's wrong with your turkey, man. Seriously, because it stinks
I think it's
so bad.
rotten.
Yeah. And Frank goes, no, I'm just cooking up some chitlins. I was like, oh my, I had to leave the
Uh-uh.
house.
No, no way. It does. And it will smell up a person's house for literally a week. It's so rancid. And my thing is, I get it. A lot of these foods became popular back in slave days because they
Sure.
ate
Second
every
cuts.
last bit of what they got. But you don't have to do that anymore. It's unnecessary. You have other options now, folks. You have other options. There's not enough
Yes, you
hot sauce
do.
in the world to cover up that doo-doo. No.
Well, I mean, we can say that because we didn't grow up with it, but
I know.
culturally, I mean, we have our, stuff,
I
Norwegians,
know.
and so
Well, yeah,
it's fun to kind
people
of say it, but you're right.
yeah, I mean, people, turn their nose up at things like lutefisk and stuff like that, which I don't eat
Yeah,
that either, but pickled fish. So yeah, I agree with you on that.
absolutely. Okay, let's get to our top five Van Halen songs. Again, Eddie Van Halen would have turned 71. I think it was Monday, you said.
Yep.
And he was a big influence on me. Not that I wanted to emulate him in guitar or anything, but I really loved his guitar work. I mean, I loved everything about Eddie, man. I just thought he was and not to mention what he played on for Michael Jackson.
Right.
Beat it.
Right. Yep. Yep.
And I was a big Michael Jackson fan, when I was 12 years old or whatever it was. And when I found out that
Yeah.
was Eddie Van Halen, I was like, oh man, that is so cool.
I mean, he would be so proud of his son too,
Yes.
Mammoth. Yeah, he's doing an amazing job. He's just, putting out one song after another, and he is a true talent. He's running in his dad's footsteps. Yeah, his dad would be proud. How long has he been gone? They said he passed away when he was 65. So yeah,
2020.
yeah. So anyway, we decided in honor of Eddie Van Halen, we were going to go over our favorites. I started last week. You get to start this week.
Fantastic. Here we go. Here's my list of the top five Van Halen songs. Coming in at number 5. In the pre-Van Halen days, David Lee Roth used to perform this song, kind of a horny mid-century blues type of song, originally done by John Brim. Solo acoustic form, it became a Van Halen staple. It is the Ice Cream Man. Well, I'm your ice
Yes.
cream man. Stop me when I pass you by.
I remember
Well,
the
I'm your ice
music
cream
video
man. Yeah.
for that song. Yeah, yeah. That's a good one. Love that one. That's on my honorable mentions.
Okay.
My number 5 is from the 9th studio album, Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, which was released in 1991. I'm talking about Right Now.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that video. It was a kind of a groundbreaking video, right?
Yes.
And I thought you were going to go with Pound Cake.
No.
Ring,
Right Now.
ring, ring. Remember the intro to that?
No, I don't.
You don't remember Pound Cake's intro? You got to listen to it. I'm sure you got it in your library there. Number
Well,
4 for me. Number 4 for me is Finish What You Started. Some Sammy with its twangy
Yeah.
finger pick guitar lines, some dry drums, and lyrics about unsatisfying sex. Finish What You Started is easily the most un-Van Halen song in the band's catalog, but it's one of my favorites.
What years was Sammy with Van Halen? Do you recall?
Yeah, about 85 through, well, early 90s, 90,
Yeah.
92.
Yeah. Because funny that you picked that song with Sammy. Number 4 of mine is Love Walks In off their 7th studio album,
Yeah.
5150.
Great. I mean, there's so many great songs to choose from. I would put that on my list as well if I had more than 5 to choose from. Love Comes Walk. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
big song, kind of
Uh,
a,
uh, 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 uh,
mm-mm.
uh,
and
uh.
and really that was a perfect song for I Felt Sammy, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Number 3 is a song that the band got a lot of, I wouldn't say hate for, but they thought, what is Van Halen doing? They shouldn't be doing, especially from their producers. But I'll wait. A lot of synth on that
Ah,
song, right? Jump, remember Jump,
yeah.
their 1984 album? They had a lot of I can't even say the
Yeah.
word, synthesizers.
Sin-
Um,
yeah.
the keyboard, they were thinking, should we keyboard or not keyboard? Should we play it on the guitar? Blah, blah, blah. Well, it was actually a big hit. Eddie recounted, he said, David Lee Roth and producer Ted Templeman did not want to touch any of the synths with a 10-foot pole, but all Wait is a pure synth pop. And a co-writing credit went to, get this, Doobie Brother Michael McDonald on that song.
Wow. My number 3 is Jamie's Cryin' off their self-titled debut album released in 1978.
Yeah, great song. I love that song
Yeah,
as well.
I do too.
Great drumming, and here's another song that Alex really kills it on is number 2 for me, Hot for a Teacher. Of course, the drum intro, quintessential classic, right, from
That's my
Van
number
Halen's.
2.
Is it? I mean, it's got so many great elements. The thundering
Yes.
drums to begin with, the rambling bass,
Oh,
the
man.
cocky vocal performance, a killer guitar riff, and the guitar solo. I mean, it's just one of my favorites. And the video's great.
Absolutely. Like you just said, the intro alone is just absolutely phenomenal. I was trying to find it, but I'll drop the beginning in when we get done. But
Sure.
yeah, so you know what my number 2 is. So there you go.
Okay. And I'm going to say we're going to have the same number 1.
I don't know.
Okay. My number 1 is Panama. No, we're not the
Nope.
same. Okay, Panama is my number 1. It's the quintessential Van Halen from the 1984 album. And this, this song has everything this band is good at. Eddie's guitar, great drumming from Alex, DLR at his very best, and Michael Anthony with some tasty bass lines on Panama.
I
There
mean,
you go. That's my number 1.
I love that song. I do, but for me, the most influential Van Halen song for me that I remember as a kid and watching the music video is the
Mhm.
band's only number one song on the Billboard Hot 100, a position it locked down for 5 weeks. I'm talking about Jump. I
Jump,
remember the
sure.
music video. I remember David Lee Roth doing his toe touchers off the
Yeah.
stage or off the drum kit, whatever it was. And they're actually giving it a makeover for the FIFA World Cup 2026. They are having different vocalists while Blink-182's Travis Barker will be filling in on drums, and Steve Vai will be working his magic on the 6th string for the FIFA World Cup. So you'll get to see a remake of Van Halen's 1984 classic.
Who did you say is singing?
I'm not familiar with them. Jay Belvin and Amber Mark.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. No, I don't. But yeah, that's cool. Hopefully they do it justice, right?
I hope so. Yeah, if they're making this big of a deal out of it. Yeah. But there's so many. We know there's so many songs. We're not saying these should be the top. These are
Yeah.
our favorites again. And of course, Panama was in my honorable mentions along with Running with the Devil, uh, Ice Cream Man, Unchained, and Ain't Talking About Love. Those are my
Yeah,
honorable mentions.
all of these songs are fantastic. Spanish Fly is in there. Running with the Devil for me, Eruption, and Beautiful
Yes,
Girls.
yes. Oh, beautiful girls. Yep, yep, yep.
Beautiful
Good
girls.
stuff.
All right. Well, there you go. There's our top five, gang. If you'd like, hop on the Rock 101 Facebook page. Let us know what your favorite Van Halen song is. We would love to hear from you. Now, I want to hear about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Who got snubbed?
So this story was just released like yesterday. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has once again snubbed Iron Maiden and Motley Crue.
That's crazy.
They still, to this day, have not been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame despite their significant success. Motley Crue, even with more than 100 million albums sold, have never appeared on the ballot. Iron Maiden, they've been nominated multiple times, but have never been inducted. They've moved more than 130 million albums across the planet, 17 studio records, 5 decades of shows that have packed arenas from Tokyo to the United States. Yet, to note, singer Bruce Dickinson says he wants to make himself clear, even if they got inducted, he said he doesn't want to because he's over the process. He doesn't believe in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He thinks it's a joke. And he said, leave us out of it. We don't care. But fans are so ticked, and fans have year after year after year after year, they've topped the fan ballots, and yet still nothing.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. And I did read a lot of the bands saying, you know what, we don't care about your Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We don't care what you think about us. And what Bruce has said there. I think that keeps it from the committee voting for him, but I don't understand because there are other artists. There's like 100 artists, I think, that vote for it, including the fan vote. The fans can vote, like there's a million fans, but they only get one vote.
Exactly. It still comes down to politics, I think. I do.
Yes,
because when you
does.
look at some of the bands that have been inducted and the others that have been left out, you just shake your head going, and the way that they changed it so much, you and I will continue to argue our point about why are you calling it the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when you are inducting rap groups into it? I understand the fact of a lot of music traces back to, some of the original rockers.
Sure.
But come on.
It
Because
should
they
be
have
just
their
changed.
separate hip hop and R&B awards. They have their separate country music awards. They have their separate pop awards. Why can't rock and roll just have one thing for themselves? Because we don't. I include myself in there, but
It should be just called the Music Hall of Fame, right? Let's just call it what it is, the Music Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. Yes. And it just, I'll forever be angry about that. I won't agree with it. Never.
Because it takes away from, when you're saying rock bands, bands such as Iron Maiden, such as Motley Crue, these bands, if it is truly the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they deserve to be in there. You do not sell 100 million copies of your records and not it's considered popular, right? Popular artist. And let's not kid ourselves. Popular artists shouldn't always be put in because there would be some really lame artists in there already. But I think the Motley Crues, the Iron Maidens in there, these guys have done so much for rock music in the 80s and the 90s and 2000s. And you know what else upsets me a little bit about it? And it's a little bit away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And we talked about this in the past, is the Super Bowl. This Super Bowl held in San Francisco. This San Francisco Super Bowl should have had Metallica play. Metallica should have been playing. That's their hometown. They should have been on that bill playing in front of, and I'm tired of this NFL. And I know the NFL does not own the halftime show. It's Jay-Z in his Rock Nation or something like that. They're the ones that control the halftime. I don't know why they do, but it's just a fact. That's just what they do. But you've got to give, and I don't care. Listen, you can have a Puerto Rican there, Bad Bunny. That's fine with me. I don't care. Big
Have a
deal. Have them
collaboration
next year.
then.
Have
Or
them
have a
next year.
collaboration.
This
Hello.
San
Yeah.
Francisco Levi Stadium is Metallica's hometown. They should be playing. And I get it. You can't just like, hey, we're going to be playing in New York City next year. You're not going to put the, name a famous New York band just because they're playing in that hometown. I get that. I understand that. But you've never had Metallica on, and you've never had a rock band on in 10, 12, 13 years.
Yeah, I was just going to
This
say,
is the
when's
perfect
the last
opportunity.
time? When is the last time they had a rock band? And here's the thing. You are speaking to the masses. You're speaking to 10-year-olds to 80-year-olds. When you think about that, why wouldn't you have a collaboration? Fine, have Bad Bunny, but have Metallica get up and play, then have Bad Bunny come on and do his song, and then have them do a song together. I mean, whatever it is, but you got to make it better. I am sick of this halftime show. They've ruined it, and they are only focusing on one genre of music now, and it's not cool. They've lost viewers because of it, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the NFL and the Super Bowl, they print money. They don't care about it. They don't care about the halftime show because they make so much money. But what I'm sick and tired of is you got the NFL using these intros and outros going into commercial.
I
They play
know.
rock songs.
Yeah.
They don't play, anything poppy.
Yeah.
It's rock, man.
Yeah. Well, and two commercials in this year's Super Bowl. One of them, they're both Bud Light, actually. The one Bud Light with Post Malone and what's his name? They have Limp Bizkit in it. And then another Budweiser ad that they're doing with the Clydesdales, they're using Leonard Skinner's Freebird. So thank you, Anheuser-Busch. I appreciate you. And Green Day's opening up Super Bowl, but come on, man.
Yeah, I suppose that's where they're getting. No, you got your rock. They got Green Day. Here's another band that should be featured at halftime in San Francisco, Journey.
Oh my gosh, they would be amazing. You know how many people would love that? Kids would love that. They know those songs. Come on.
Absolutely. I mean, come on. We all know Journey songs. I mean, that would have been fantastic. I would have settled for Journey. I'd be like, yeah, hometown band again. Yeah, for sure.
Bad Bunny. That's what you get.
Anyway, well, we're going to have to wrap things up here. We've got about 1 minute or so, Ginger. Any plans for the weekend?
What am I doing this weekend? Nothing major. But it is Groundhog's Day on Monday. And PETA, once again, is trying to get them to retire Punxsutawney Phil. And they suggest rather than using a real groundhog, they want them to start using a 3D hologram instead. And people are like, that groundhog probably gets treated better than any animal besides, the rich and famous, their pets. Plus, you got to think about all the money it brings in for Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. So much money for that little town. It really does. So,
and how does a hologram see its shadow?
Who knows? But they, you know what their argument is? They said groundhogs by nature are a shy animal, so they get scared around crowds. How do you know this? And by the way, it's a whole, 5 minutes? And then the guy goes